Ladies and gents, we are very, very close to seeing Viktor Gyökeres in an Arsenal shirt. Fabrizio Romano broke the news today and said we will get a here we go soon. Gyökeres is prepared to take a €2 million pay cut to facilitate negotiations between Arsenal and Sporting, according to reports. But I think people don't actually understand the magnitude of this signing. Liverpool have gone out there and signed Florian Wirtz, which is a statement of intent. People are wondering why June was such a big month for them, but actually their financial year ended on May 30th, which meant they could go out and drop £200 million on Gyökeres, on Frimpong, and Florian Wirtz. Man City had to get their business done in the Club World before the Club World Cup started. Cherki, Ain't Nuri, Reinders, etc. And then Arsenal were plotting little bits of business here and there. They got Kepa done, they got Norgard done, Zubamendi was practically done in January. And then July comes around and all of a sudden a bomb is dropped on the transfer world and Viktor Gyökeres is heading to Arsenal. But the magnitude of this signing, you're bringing a guy in who's got nearly 100 goals in 2 seasons. And the 11 I'm about to show you, because I still believe Rodrygo will be in an Arsenal shirt, it's very difficult to look at this team without seeing it win the league. Make sure you go down, drop a like on the video if you haven't already. Let me know your thoughts. We are steamrolling our way towards 70,000 subscribers. We only hit 61K 3 days ago, and we're less than 100 from 61K. Yes, you right there. Go down, hit that subscribe button, and let me know your thoughts. I'm going to bring up Fabrizio Romano's tweet from an hour ago, and then I'm going to bring up the 11 in which I think will push Liverpool to the very, very end. Viktor Gyökeres has accepted to give up €2 million from his salary in order to facilitate negotiations between Arsenal and Sporting Lisbon. Sporting insist on a higher fee for the Arsenal proposal, and Gyökeres tries his best, also giving up money to make it happen as per record. Like I said, I've not seen a player willing to give up his own money to push for a move. Is this the final piece in the jigsaw in which Arsenal go out there and win a league title? They've got the best defence in the Premier League. The midfield of Zubamendi, Declan Rice, and Odegaard, potentially with Eberechi Eze coming in. You've got Norgard there as well. And then a front three of Saka, Gyökeres, and potentially Rodrygo. It's going to be insane. I want to bring up this team and I want to get your guys' thoughts, because for me, this is a scary, scary sight. What I'm about to show you guys. Just feast your eyes on this. This is what I think Arsenal potentially could look like come August. You got the back four, which pretty much picks itself now. Timber, Saliba, Gabriel, Luis Skelly. You got depth in Kivior, depth in potentially this new centre-back coming in. You've also got Zinchenko still in the ranks. And then you've got a midfield of Declan Rice and Martin Zubamendi. The interesting thing will be about this is they both can play the 8 and they both can play the 6. And then you've got Martin Odegaard, the captain, in the 10, who will be pulling the strings, starting that press. But that front three looks absolutely petrifying. You got Bukayo Saka, who, I don't care what anyone says, is a world-class player. 20 plus GA in all comps now, 4 seasons in a row, I believe it is. Gyökeres numbers are absolutely ridiculous in all competitions in the last 2 years. And before anyone says, oh, he hasn't done it in the Premier League, whatever, it doesn't matter. He scored goals in the Championship. He scored he scored more than, I think it's 68. No, tell a lie. I could be completely lying on that. I think he scored in Liga Portugal 68 goals in 66 games, which is just absolutely ridiculous numbers. And in a Sporting shirt, he has got 97 goals and 28 assists in 102 games. When you look at that on paper, it's very, very alarming to the Premier League that this guy, with over 100 GA in 102 games in a Sporting shirt, with Champions League experience, with Europa League experience, who has actually outscored Alexander Isak since he's been in the Swedish national team in his last 20 or 20, 30 games, whatever the numbers is. I think this right here pushes Liverpool to the very, very end. I don't think, as it stands right now, Manchester City are as strong as Arsenal and Liverpool. And the Rodrygo saga is very, very interesting because you're looking at a guy who hasn't started the last four games in the Club World Cup. And according to TNT Sports, PSG have reportedly made contact with Rodrygo. So Arsenal will be facing competition to get this guy over the line. The question is, do PSG need him with Bradley Barcola, Kvaratskhelia, with Ousmane Dembele, with Lee, with, so many talented wingers? Do they really need him? Potentially. I would have thought they would have gone for a more stronger number 9. Arsenal are his preferred location if he does leave Real Madrid. And I believe he will leave Real Madrid. Now, if they can get him over the line, that is going to be the most unbelievable transfer window from Arsenal. Like, you're talking about a guy who I personally believe, when you look at the situation that Arsenal are in right now, they're very, very close to dropping an absolute bomb on the Premier League. Like, Viktor Gyökeres is actually giving up his own money to force a move. You look at the situation with Liverpool. Right now, they are probably Premier League favourites again going into next season. But if Arteta sprinkles a little bit of fairy dust, his entire tactics for me will change slightly. Saka often cuts back onto that left-hand side. Martinelli cuts in onto that right-hand side. I think you will see a lot more now players going down to the byline and squaring it to Viktor Gyökeres. You've now got a guy that's outscored Erling Haaland the last 2 seasons. When you look at it like that, it's absolutely ridiculous. It's crazy. The numbers this guy has put up are scary, are absolutely scary. I personally believe you get Gyökeres, you get Rodrygo, the league title will be between 3 points this season. Now, the one thing I will say is the situation with Noni Madueke. I think he comes in as a backup to Bukayo Saka, and I think he would be happy to play as a backup. Eberechi Eze would give a lot more creativity. You think last season, Martin Odegaard missed a few months, Bukayo Saka missed a few months. It's not like Arsenal don't need these players. You're a handful of games away from losing the Premier League. You're a handful of games away from winning the Premier League. You look at last season, if things were slightly different, if Arsenal had a number 9, would they have gone on to win it? Potentially. I want to cast everyone's minds back to the 2023-2024 season, when Arsenal didn't really have injuries and they pushed Manchester City to the very, very end. The league title was won within 2 points. If Arsenal bring in Rodrygo and Gyokeres, I think you'll be in a similar situation, Arsenal fans, where you will push whoever's at the top to the very, very end, but you have to get over the line now. I have to stress this. Arteta has to get over the line. There can be no excuses now. You've got Gyokeres. You're potentially going to sign Rodrygo. You've got Zubimendi. You've got Kepa. You've got Norgard. You've got Saka, Gabriel, Timber. All these fantastic players. Ben White, this is the thing. Ben White's one of the best fullbacks in the Premier League. And he's not even in this 11. That's what's insane. Eberechi Eze, Madueke aren't in this 11. Norgard isn't in this 11. Kai Havertz, Gabriel Jesus aren't in this 11. That just goes to show you the squad depth that Arsenal could have next season if things go to plan for them. I personally believe right now that the situation with regards to Mikel Arteta, this is it now. You've got all the pieces in the jigsaw. You're pretty much there now once you get Gyokeres and Rodrygo. Let me know your thoughts. Make sure you go down and drop a like. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. And I will see you all tomorrow for more content. I'm out.